Namaste, everybody. In this webinar, on this auspicious day of Guru-Poornimā, we offer our salutations to the Guru Parampara. Gu stands for darkness and Ru means the remover. The very word Guru thus represents the remover of darkness. Different spiritual traditions and different schools of thought in our country, India, have all accepted the very important place of a Guru. Guru is equated with God Himself. The Guru is praised in numerous compositions. The Guru has been held indispensable in one's spiritual practices. However, people always have had numerous questions about this Guru Tattva. This is because there are grosser forms of understanding of Guru and there are deeper and subtler forms of understanding. In the gross form, a person is taken as the Guru, though very many times it is indeed a person. On a deeper level, the principle of Guru actually goes beyond a person. That is what makes it difficult for large numbers of people. For they see that in the inspiring stories of a lot of saints, lot of Mahatmas, they had a Guru. The Guru was one person and the disciple showed tremendous reverence to that single person. And then the common man gets such doubts as, how do I find my Guru? How do I decide that such and such person is my Guru? So it leads to many difficulties. There are also issues where the higher teachings say the Guru is both outside and inside. The higher teachings, or call them the more profound teachings, point out that the Guru is more a tattva than a person. That is where spirituality itself is pretty hard for many people. Is the Guru a person? Is the Guru a tattva, a principle? We would once more say the Guru as a principle, as a tattva, is an infallible teaching. There is no compromise on that. But that principle, while it appears as a single person in a number of cases, in certain cases it may appear as 2 or 3 people. I have heard that in Bhagavatam somebody took 24 gurus, and those 24 gurus included even a parrot and perhaps the 5 elements and so on. In the life of Sri Ramanujacharya, one of the greatest spiritual teachers who walked on the earth of India, he initially had a guru who was teaching him Advaita Vedānta. However, Sri Ramanujacharya was not content, was not at peace with the teachings of the Advaita, and he went on to learn from others, to ponder by himself, and we are nobody to find fault with him. Therefore, while 99 out of 100 cases, it may not be desirable to move, to change a guru, sometimes in 1 out of 100 cases, perhaps divine will intervenes, and we must look at it as will of God, that a lady or a man may go for a different guru, and the tattva remains the same. So we would say, if it is a genuine case where there were certain pressing factors, then the same guru tattva, not a second one, begins to express, appear in a second form. Pujya Swami Chinmayananda studied under Swami Shivananda, received sannyasa diksha. However, he then went to Swami Tapovanam, and now popularly Swami Tapovanam is regarded as the guru of Swami Chinmayanandaji. So there are numerous cases where the story is a little different from the standard simple version. However, we must hasten to add that that is no license, or that is no green signal for anybody to change one's guru at the drop of a hat. It is not a permission, it is not an encouragement for being unstable, being very dilly-dallying, vacillate or oscillate. When certain, as we said before, certain pressing factors, let us say, change the course of one's sadhana, it's a different story. In other words, we are trying to say that by and large, we must control our impulses. We must try our best to stay on course with a guru whom we have accepted, who has inspired us a lot. Rest of it is divine will. Now, there is a profound statement. Guru is outside and inside. No one less than Sri Ramana Maharshi went on to say that the Guru, staying outside, pushes our mind within, and there is a Guru who is inside, who pulls the mind inwards. Here, the mind going outwards is in the sense of getting attached to sense objects, in the process getting attached to a perception of duality which is false. The mind turning inwards in this context is rising above one's attachment to the world of names and forms. So therefore, more than outside or inside, it is a question of a grosser understanding of life versus a more mature understanding of life. Antarmukhatva, turning inwards, is the standard expression for going to the root of everything. So one who turns within is not really averse to the world, but she or he has gone above the usual raga and dvesha. He or she rises above likes and dislikes and prejudices. He or she has no attachment to wealth and really no aversion also. Wealth or woman, man or position, pleasure or power, all of them at one time maybe had some special significance for her or for him. Now she or he is able to put them in their proper place, and one's actual interest is somewhere else. One is pursuing a question like, who am I, basically? Who am I in my true nature? What is the underlying truth of this entire universe? That would be her question, his question, not how can I make millions of rupees? How can I become head of a big institution, company? How can I be famous? Those are no more of interest to the person about whom we say she has turned inwards. Therefore, we would say the Guru Tattva, the principle of Guru, is like a supreme intelligence. For it is only through intelligence, a high form of intelligence, that we can rise above the ordinary, the usual attractions and aversions. Otherwise, the world is full of things which tempt anybody. And then there are lots of things which annoy, irritate, provoke, make angry anyone. Therefore, to keep calm in this complex world, in this complex life, in varieties of complex relationships, is next to impossible. We require an advanced form of intelligence. The good news is every one of us has that intelligence, and that is where Guru, Shastra and Ishvara bless us to awaken that intelligence. Certain things in life happen as a natural course. A child, after a while, after being born, learns to sit, then learns to stand, then learns to walk, learns to talk, and after some time learns to sing, learns to dance. All these are rather usual, normal. But this rise, this growth of the innate intelligence in us to distinguish between Anatma and Atma, what I am not and what I am, is not ordinary. In fact, most people, even after studying scriptures, are at a loss with regard to these spiritual questions. They are able to write or talk, but in their own private life they know how attached they are, maybe to their own body, to certain comforts, to certain pleasures, to certain recognition, praise, and so on. What happens to all their wisdom then? What happens to their understanding? I am ever full. I am that pure awareness principle. That is where Maya comes in, and this magic, this magical spell of that inexplicable power resident in Brahman comes in and floors anybody and everybody. So, in the midst of such chaos, in the midst of such widespread delusion, moha being so ubiquitous, found anywhere and everywhere, if you and I somehow manage to see things as they are, if we are able to see what is finite as finite and not go behind them, then that is divine grace, and many a time such grace is called Guru Kripa. There is Ishvara Kripa, grace of God. There is Guru Kripa, the grace of a teacher, of one's teacher. And then there is also Atma Kripa, that is grace on oneself by oneself. Because even if Guru and Ishvara shower their grace, sometimes one finds that one is not able to receive. One is not receiving. One is not going with the flow. It is like the saying goes, you can take a horse to a pond, but not make it drink. So there is a very interesting dynamics. No wonder one of the Shanti mantras in the Vedas says, Maham Brahma Nirakuryam, Mama Brahma Nirakarot. May Brahman, the Supreme God Principle, not let me down, and may I not let God down also. Why would anybody let God down? That is another play of Maya. We let go of golden opportunities. We settle for something cheap and let go of something most wonderful. That is observed, though hard to understand. All of us do it. However, when we are devoted to our Guru, that devotion brings in us a certain energy. Therefore, why go to Upanishads and all those high texts? In the simplest Bhaja Govindam, which gives us some loving advice, we see Guru Charanambuja Nirbhara Bhaktaha Sansarad Achirad Bhavamuktaha Sendriya Manasa Niyamadeva Drakshasi Nija Hridayastam Devam Bhaja Govindam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. Drakshasi, you will see Nija Hridayastam Devam, the divine truth. Call him Shiva, call him Vishnu, call him Allah, call him Father in heaven. The divine truth you will behold in your own heart, oh dear, if Sendriya Manasa Niyamad Eva or Evam. If you observe certain healthy rules, niyamas, regarding the control of senses and the control of the mind, as even you take upon yourself some healthy rules, not overdoing anything, not underdoing anywhere, healthy rules in right measure, born out of a very mature self-assessment. You take upon yourselves, you take up some rules, niyama, and then the whole process as though gets wings, as though gets momentum when we are devoted to Guru Charana Ambuja. Guru Charana Ambuja Nirbhara Bhaktaha. When we are devoted to the Guru Tattva in the form which means a lot to us. There are sometimes devotees or seekers on the path who on one hand are devoted to somebody whom they met in flesh in their life. On the other, they also hold somebody of the past, 100 years before or 500 years before, does not matter. Depending on our purva sanskaras, past impressions, depending upon how we may feel attracted to some particular form, particular saint. The Tattva is one. Guru Tattva is one. The Guru Tattva may make an impact on us, assuming a form of the good old times and a form of present times too. So especially in our Vedanta tradition or in the Hindu tradition in a larger usage of the term, there is quite a bit of freedom, quite a bit of choice. For each person is unique. All are not forced to go by one standard route. We may take our own route. Our own inner sincerity is important. Are you sincere? Are you true to yourself? Leave alone hoodwinking or deceiving some X or Y, somebody outside. Hope you do not deceive yourself. Hope you do not value something but actually act opposite or contrary to that. That is called self-deception. If you say to somebody something and next day don't do that, that is deceiving somebody else. If you say to yourself and then not do it after 5 minutes, after 5 hours, whenever, you yourself decided, you yourself break it, what is going on? There is some problem of integration. One has to have self-integrity. So, the Guru, dispeller of darkness, is an extraordinary operation of the intelligence which is in everyone, which is in the entire universe. In the famous expression, Sat Chit Ananda, Chit represents that supreme intelligence. Chit Tattva. Chit is outside and inside. Somebody who may look very idiotic, who may appear to be too attached to pleasure, to objects of the world, also has the same chit inside her, inside him. Just keep watching. Just provide the right facility, right atmosphere. The very person who was appearing hopeless may rise, may emerge as a wonderful spiritual person. So, the Guru Tattva is never to be underestimated. The Guru Tattva may express anywhere and everywhere. Above all, everybody should have self-confidence, should have hope. This Vedanta is the science of greatest optimism. Tattvam asi, you are that, is said to everyone. Maybe some of us have to do a little preparation before we claim the highest realization. Some others may be already pretty much prepared. So either way, everyone is that divine truth. Lastly, Guru Tattva appearing in one form generally, sometimes in couple of forms, sometimes a combination of an ancient form and a modern form, sometimes a lady, sometimes a gentleman, sometimes a child, sometimes an old guy. Doesn't matter how. The Guru Tattva appearing in some form, coming in our life as a major influence, can turn us from raw metal to gold. The Guru Tattva can transform us from a weakling to a very strong and highly compassionate being. The Guru Tattva can make our life a true fulfillment. To that Guru Tattva, that expressed as a Guru Parampara, that expresses as so many Gurus who have made a big difference in this world, who have touched the lives of lots of people and lives of us, we offer our humble prostrations on this day of Guru-Poornimā. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. hope everything was audible, and please feel free to comment or ask a question or two. Okay, here. Okay. May I ask Daya to voice his question?
I don't have questions, Swamiji. I just want to give my pranams to you, Swamiji, for Guru-Poornimā.
May Gurus bless you.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Now let me see. I do not see any hand raised. There may be a written question. Questions, let me see, text. Okay. Yes. Somebody has said, thank you for your discourse. Humble salutations on Guru-Poornimā at your feet. Om Namah Shivaya. God bless you. Then I have heard the Guru is, as Dakshinamurti was silent, but today participants of the webinar are silent. That may provoke somebody to ask a question, I guess, no, or may not. You are very balanced. Nothing provokes, nothing tempts, established in a certain, I would say, inspiration. Okay, here is Jyoti from Chennai.
Hariom Swamiji, you were talking about self-integrity.
Yeah.
So then we have to be vigilant and disciplined all the time, keeping a watch over ourselves.
Yeah.
And we are not perfect, Swamiji. It never happens. definitely we fall short so many times.
Yeah, all of us have that difficulty. So, as the saying goes, start small, grow big, and don't have too many rules, but have a couple of simple rules. Like they say in time management, you don't have to even work harder. You don't have to go faster. But like I'm giving an example, in literature on time management, how to manage our time well, they say, don't work for extra hours, don't run faster, but in the couple of hours that you may have, adhere to important things first. Likewise, in spirituality, if we make a couple of rules, depending on a certain self-assessment, I am more Jnana Yogi. Then, once I had said in one of the webinars, I think, can we spend 18 minutes, 1-8, just 18 minutes, just reciting the Upanishad mantras with just translation, just 18 minutes. It can go along. Take a small rule and do it day after day. That will improve your general willpower. That will improve your general, emotional structure and so on. Because lastly, to answer this question, let me say, isn't it true that sometimes when we do some sadhana for just 10 minutes, having done it, we feel so cheered up. We feel, today is so nice. Therefore, we must give ourselves the gift. We must give ourselves the benefit of those little sadhanas for 10 minutes. Yeah, read the Upanishad mantras. That's it. The day's sadhana is over. Don't worry more. 10 minutes, 18 minutes. 18 minutes. If you are a bhakti-oriented person, just for 15 or 18 minutes, recite some Vishnu Sahasranama, some Shiva Bhajan, depending on your chosen path. It will make you feel so good. So, I conclude with the first statement I made. Start small, grow big.
Yes,
Start
Swami.
small, you will grow.
You can increase it slowly, as you said.
Yeah.
Thank you, Swami.
Welcome. Here is Sunil Goyal. Oh, 1 minute. That mic is not just a minute. Why is it not turning on? Self-muted. Did you mute yourself? Sunil Goel's mic is not getting unmuted from my side. Now it will. Huh? Why is it not becoming blue? Maybe yourself, the person himself has. Now it's on. Please ask, Sunil.
Okay. Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om.
And salutations for today's Swamiji. Swamiji,
do you have a question?
About meditation, when we talk of the ultimate goal of being aware of the awareness, like in the Samadhi stage.
Yeah.
And to do that without using the mind, so by transcending the mind to remain in a state of awareness by awareness, is it really possible? Does it happen that way, or is it only in theory that the sages and the saints write that it does happen, that one can actually transcend the mind and the consciousness is aware of consciousness itself, and everything else is muted? So I just wanted your comment on it, if it is possible.
My opinion is very much possible. It is possible. Okay. And the last lap of the journey is not what we do, but what happens. The last lap, the last leg of the journey is what happens. The traces of doership or someone who wills, they fall away on their own. Then consciousness is aware of itself, and there is transcendence of the mind.
But it will happen it will be sporadic. It will not be continuous, because if it is continuous, then you will not come back. If it is continuous, so it has to be.
They have talked about Sahaja Samadhi, where there is a continuous awareness of who one is. At the same time, one is able to operate as the personality. In Nirvikalpa Samadhi, one is not able to operate as the personality. In Sahaja Samadhi, one is able to operate as the personality, but one doesn't lose sight of one's true nature.
So, Swamiji, when one is totally concentrated within the consciousness, at that time, obviously you forget the world, the Jagat. But when you come back, when you're out of Samadhi, then the world is in front of you.
Therefore, we call it self-knowledge, right? So therefore we use the word self-knowledge. The world may be in front of you, but you have a new self-knowledge. You don't take yourself as limited to the body. Therefore, the Atma Gyan, it is not just experience. If your attachment is to experience, Then in Nirvikalpa Samadhi you are inundated with bliss. And when you come back to perception of the world, you will again look at yourself as limited. Yeah, so that is the place of jnanam, gyan. So there is a
But when you
transformation brought about by right knowledge has to be understood. It's not just staying with an experience or perception.
But even with that gyan, you still, if a person has an analytical mind, he still wants to understand how the Maya and the karma theory, which is also under Maya, it wants to understand the mechanics. The mind tells to analyze the mechanics of that Maya theory and karma theory.
However analytical one may be, the person in oneself goes to the back seat and understands oneself as unbounded intelligence, and the person is a drop in the bucket. So, Vedantic study is very necessary, therefore. It's not just a matter of coming upon an extraordinary experience. There has to be a totally new knowledge about oneself. Yeah, so please study some more of the jnana, the Vedanta statements, then you will be clearer.
Thank you.
All right, let's see the next person.
Okay. Swami, earlier Krish Chilikuri had raised the hand. Now it is not there.
Let me see. Oh, I see. But I don't see the name at all here. Ah, I found it. Again, the mic is not. Now mic is blue. Yeah.
Hari Om Swamiji. Namaskar.
Hari Om.
On this day. Just a reflection on Guruji. I was very young. I'm talking about Swami Chinmayananji. Very, very young. About 15 years when I first listened to him for about 15 years in that time. Very young. Well, in later years, in response to the question asked by the lady from Chennai, excerpts from what Guruji has said come up in every situation where you have a true decision to be made, true choice to be made. Some phrase that he said, some shloka that he said, some interpretation that he said comes along. So it is almost as if he has become a conscience over the years. And just again, respectfully bowing to Guru Tattva as well as to Swami Chinmayananji, in periods of negligence, of inability, of personal inability, you always find him pulling you back. So with that personal thank you to the entire Guru Parampara. Namaskar.
Yeah. Wonderful. Yes. All right. Yes, that's about it. So with the party best wishes, who is there?
In that question box again, Jyotiji has asked some questions. Jyoti Verma.
Okay, who said the hum? Can you please touch upon the very basic of how Guru-Poornimā Tattvam started? I have heard that on this Purnima, this particular Purnima, Vedavyasa began writing Brahma Sutras. That is given as one explanation for this particular Purnima, full moon night, being given being accorded the special status of Guru-Poornimā. They call it Vyasa-Poornimā also. So, a very great work of Vedanta, Badarayana Sutras, Brahma Sutras, about 555 aphorisms, which sum up, which put together the teachings of Upanishads. This work was begun by Sri Vedavyasa on a particular Purnima, and that every year is known as Guru-Poornimā. Hari Om, Namaste, wish you all the best.
Pranam Swami.